Hi, my name is Brielle Millett, and I chose to present on the case study Gateway Hospital. This case talks about a man named Troy who took his family on one of his business trips. At the conclusion of this trip, he and his wife discovered that they had spent a lot more than they had planned, and they decided that they would just add some of their personal expenses to make them look like business expenses to be reimbursed by Gateway Hospital. Their reasoning and rationalizations came from the fact that Troy spent a lot of time at work, which caused him to miss out on a lot of family time. Troy also felt like it wasn't that much money. He wasn't going to make a habit out of this. It would just be a one-time thing. And he also knew that his boss didn't look at these receipts very well and didn't feel like he would get caught. Some things that could be at stake with this decision would be Troy's integrity and his reputation. It would be hard for people to trust him. He might even lose his job. The company could possibly lose an employee or lose the money that Troy essentially is stealing from them. And Kristen, who was also on the business trip, who also works under Troy, might see his example and try to do the same thing. Troy's actions caused Joyce, the head accountant, to question the high expenditures, and she inquired Kristen of his actions. And Kristen wanted to talk to Troy first before responding. And some things that she could do in her favor would be to ask Troy what his reasoning and rationalizations were in making this decision. She could threaten Troy and tell him that if he doesn't confess of his fraud, that she would herself tell Joyce that the expenditures were higher than necessary. In response to his justification and rationalizations, she could remind Troy that it's because of his job that his family is taken care of and provided for, and that this decision of his could possibly jeopardize his career. This decision also would make it a lot harder for her and for other employees in the company to be able to trust Troy. She could also encourage Troy to go to Joyce himself and talk with her to try to prevent further consequences that could happen if he didn't confess of his mistake. In conclusion, I feel like this case really teaches us that we need to keep our integrity no matter where we're at, who we think is watching or who we think is not watching. We need to do those things which are ethical so that we don't have to risk facing the consequences. It also taught me personally that being ethical never requires justification or rationalizations. And it's never worth losing our integrity over. Thank you